So we've got our first update for the pmdg 737-700 since release, and it's a big one, introducing pop-up displays and numerous bug fixes that hopefully improve your experience. It certainly has for me. Aside from that, pmdg, especially Robert, has provided us with some previews of their 737-600 for Microsoft Flight Sim, which should be coming in the middle of this month. Let's get right into it. Okay, so welcome back to another video talking about the pmdg 737-700 in the start of the video and the 600 towards the later end of it. On the evening of the 3rd of June 2022, pmdg released an update, their first update for the 700. In order to install it, you need to go to the pmdg Ops Center, run the application as an administrator, and you should be greeted with a little pop-up that says your aircraft is due an upgrade. You don't need to go on any website unless of course you haven't got the Ops Center for some peculiar reason. It should all be integrated into there. It doesn't take too long to install, you should be waiting 2 to 5 minutes depending on your internet, but it is a pretty hefty update, bringing over 1000 edits to the files. Now in my opinion, the big thing here isn't actually the pop-up displays, which is great for cockpit builders, I'll be explaining that later, but it's sounds. Sounds have really improved, they've clearly spent a lot of time on the sound engine. In addition to that, it just feels more immersive. They seem to have upgraded wing flex. It just seems to feel a bit more like an aeroplane, as opposed to being a model in a flight simulator. Now there is a big change log on the pmdg website from Robert if you want to read it. There are over 1000 file changes here, which can be summed up to around, I don't know, seems to be summed up on the pmdg website to about, I don't know, probably 70 to 100 individual fixes. But I do think it extends a bit further than that because of course a lot of them do kind of improve individual parts of the aircraft, which all come together. So it is a really big update. In addition, plenty of liveries have seen updates, and you do need to update them individually via the pmdg Operations Center. Now for me, it's been a great update, primarily because they've solved the one big bug that was pestering me. I don't know whether it was Volanta, but it just seems to be that every 10 minutes or so I'd get a, I don't know, 10-second freeze in the cockpit. And while it didn't always happen, it did happen quite often, but I don't seem to be getting this anymore, so I don't know what they've done there, but they've clearly fixed it. The aircraft does run a bit smoothly, although performance was certainly a good selling point before, so it's certainly been optimised a bit better. Now moving over to, I guess, the spotlight feature, we talk about pop-up displays. I'll explain it by heading over to the simulator now. Okay, so the main feature introduced in this update, well the biggest feature aside from the bug fixes, is the ability to pop out screens. In order to do that, you need to press right alt and left click on a screen, like so. And you can do it to so many. Most of the panels or every single digital display has this capability, from the FMC to the PFD. Now when you do it, if you do more than one, you'll be greeted with them all together. In order to separate them, all you need to do is press this little magnifying glass that says plus, and it should separate them like so. You can of course resize them, which can make it look a bit funky, but really this is for cockpit builders. This is for people with multi-panel displays that want to be able to customise their cockpit by moving around panels. For example, I've only got 2 monitors at the moment, but if I wanted to, I could now theoretically move my primary flight display onto my second monitor. If I show it on my phone, I'll show you what I'm doing. Okay, so using the magic of cinema, as you can see we've undocked this window, and just like so we can move it over to the other, another monitor. Now of course most people with dual monitor setups, 3 monitor setups will be familiar with this. Of course this is a more physical example of an update to the pmdg 737-700, and I think it's pretty cool. So yes, it's good for cockpit builders, and there's plenty of other bug fixes for you and me that aren't too worried about building a cockpit and popping out displays. From improvements in sounds with the sound engine, as I've already talked about, to bug fixes with modelling, this certainly has been a big update. Now I could go through every single individual fix, but I'd be here all day or night, so let's move over to the other news. I'm going to put the changelog in the description, or a link to it in the description I should say. I don't think I could fit it all in. But I just noticed at the end of the changelog there's been 69 issues fixed. So there we go, my figure of 70 to 100 wasn't too far off earlier. Anyway, we move over to the second bit of news in this video with the pmdg 737-600. We've got our first little previews. These were also released on the forum just a few hours after. Now this is coming for $50 US. I personally will not be buying it. One, because I like the 700 and I think it's fine, and two, because the 600 is a bit too small to appeal to me, I can't lie. Now we do get two screenshots on this forum post. One of the aircraft taxiing around with what by the looks of it looks like Janet Airlines in the back, which is the US government's secret airline that goes around Area 51. Plenty of conspiracy theories there, I'm sure. Probably some of them true, to be honest, let's be real here. And then another one is the aircraft taking off, I don't know what airport. But yes, it's just taking off, it looks pretty cool. You just see how short this plane is, it really is little. Now of course it is the budget option. If it's coming in for around $50 US, that's like 35 UK pounds. The project at the moment is running late a bit, but it's still possible that it's released in the middle of June, but who knows, with a slight delay in beta testing being 7 to 9 days late, there's a good chance it could be delayed until the end of June. However, but being the budget option, I'm sure it will appeal to some people who want to wait it out and get a bit of a deal, but for me, I have to be honest, it's not going to be in my hangar. At this point I start to realise why people did actually want the old system where you get bundles of aircraft, because it clearly is racking up. I mean, you've got to think about it like this, for the price of the 700 and 800, in old money you probably could have got all these variants, but it is what it is. At least we got the 700 for a pretty good price, but there's my 2 cents anyway. Not too much else to talk about here. Here's the 600 variant. It's little, it's cheaper, it could be for you, but it's not for me. There we have it guys, the first big update to the pmdg 737-700. What do you think? Has it improved your experience? Will you be using the pop-up displays? If you're a cockpit builder, it's your dream. From me today, that is all. Be sure to like, comment and subscribe. Thank you so very much for watching, and a big thank you to my first class channel members. You guys really do help me out, and as such, you get a shout out on the screen. Be sure to like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed, and check out my Amazon affiliate links down below for all the stuff I used to fly, film and edit. But from me today, enjoy flying your 737 after a nice update via the operations centre. That's all you need to know. Bye bye.